Good morning, back at it again with another one. And it was a very productive day. For those of you who aren't following us on the Twitter account, be sure to check us out there. We're going to be posting some updates or just any random ideas or thoughts that come about. Uh, Earlier on today, before London session, we saw this potential bullish power of three. As you can see from the chart there, if you didn't watch yesterday's episode with the sell that we took, be sure to check that out. It'll give you more context about today's upload. But yeah, as you can see, yesterday we took the short entry from around about that fair value gap going down into this one here. We are looking at price to lead all the way up into this double top there, purge that liquidity up top, and then we'll see where we go from there. That daily fair value gap over there that we're looking for entry also so happens to be within the 0.62/0.79 zone. So we're looking for buys. Earlier on, I posted this. We saw that consolidation during Asian session and then the drop down during London. This is the model we're looking, or the structure that we were anticipating to see. A bullish power of three, where price consolidates, manipulates to take out the sell side, which would be there, and then make its way upwards, or like push an expansion. So essentially the opposite of what we saw yesterday. Like I said, if you didn't watch yesterday's upload, be sure to check it out. It'll make perfect sense as to what is going on today. And as you can see, we're posting all the way through the formation of everything. Even we're able to catch some trades. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So we're just gonna go through what was going on today, or the approach that we took. I'm gonna share some very interesting thing that I also noticed, and then we'll finish off the episode by looking at Nasdaq. But let's just start with West Texas Intermediate crude oil, or US oil, or whatever. This is the chart before the lipstick. Let me put all of it on. Here we are. Daily chart, that's where we're gonna start off. To frame our idea for today, this is the draw that we were looking for. And then price was like playing runabout in this daily fair value gap, which also coincides with the 50% level of that order block over there. So I was looking for buys. Gonna go straight to the 1 hour chart. Not bad. As you can see, that consolidation during Asia. We saw the fake out during London, and then price began to expand up during New York session. Switching over to the 15, we can see it much nicer here. So as you can see here on that M15 chart, that gray zone is that daily fair value gap that we saw in the previous one, or the previous chart. There it is over there, lovely, easy. Back to the 15-minute. So I won't lie, it was a very clean day. Very clean day. London did what it was supposed to do, take out that sell side from the previous session, which was Asia. The time I got to my chart, we just printed this down close candle. We're proceeding to shoot up. I didn't enter at the retest. I just took the close proximity entry, to be honest, and it paid out quite handsomely, as you could see with the previous screenshot of my MT5, and as you can see here as well. So let's look at London session. Already just via that M15, as you can see here, if you can't notice it already. No, just ignore that. I'm just gonna draw this rectangle over there on the low of that and to the high of this. Alrighty, beautiful. Let's take note of the time. That is at 6:30 EST. I don't know what time that is in my current local time zone, whatever. I'll check later. I'll make sure I remember to post the link to the tweet though of the thread for those who weren't able to see. Yesterday I was supposed to also in the comments of yesterday's upload just put up a link to the tweet or like a picture or something like that of the MT5. My apologies, I forgot. I'll make sure I do that today with this one so that there's no confusion and whatever. So why did I like this initial entry over there? In hindsight, obviously, hindsight is 2020, and as you can see, we had a small fair value gap there. Price came down to retest it and then proceeded up very, very nicely. But let's just focus more on this price action here. So you see, price printed a lower high, shot down, began to wick. Price went up there. We broke that short-term high. And then once that candle closed, there was this gap here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those candles. Just it's like a bunch of opportunities to enter again, just tapping into that zone over there quite nicely. But then my thinking, or what made me confident in taking the long entry now, was since this imbalance got rebalanced. I was looking at the lowermost one, which is this one. Since this imbalance got rebalanced and then we saw a bullish engulfing candle to overtake this, I was thinking, okay, the first confluence was the liquidity being ran. Secondly, break of structure. Thirdly, we had these wicks not going lower. And then we had the engulfing over there. So for my idea to be invalid, or for me to accept that I'm probably offside, if we went lower than that, then I was gonna just take it like, okay, cool, I'll call it a day. But fortunately for me, that wasn't the case. I didn't expect price to go lower than this down close candle here, and I was correct very nicely. Very nicely. Like I said, I just took my entry wasn't very technical or anything like that. Looking back, you could have entered in as we retested this, went up. For those asking, this is the M15, by the way, as you can see up there. You could have like went in long over there, but yeah, like I said, I wasn't doing that at all. Entered there, price began to spool up quite nicely, and then we of course got the expansion for New York session, which was quite nice. Quite nice. Another thing, as you can see there's this cool pattern that I've like picked up lately where you'll have London session, right? You'll have London session, and then London would leave a PD array just before New York, and then New York would trade down into it around about 9-ish, 9:30-ish. And you can see here, we shot up, left that fair value gap over there. New York session started at 8, right? At 8. And then from 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock, we're just busy filling out that space over there, and then we started to shoot up again. Very nice. This pattern, like where London will leave, say, a PD array, and then just before the expansion in New York, of course, if we're not in a seek and destroy profile or something like that, it's pretty accurate. 8 out of 10 times, it's pretty accurate. I first noticed it on NASDAQ. We'll look at NASDAQ just now. But wow. It's very nice. Not much to say, really. It is what it is, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. Entered there, rode it all the way up. I took the exit over here. Like I said, I'll put up the screenshot of the trade history off of MT5 for everyone to see. But why I went out is because I saw here that imbalance that we were currently at, or at the time, as we were approaching. Can I call this a breaker? This candle over there. I was just like, okay, let me exit. I took another prior exit. I think round about here, as we were crashing into that, and then I moved my stop to just above break even. It was under this downward retracement over there, and I was quite confident with it, and I just let it rip. Of course, I didn't hold to my intended target of there. I feel like we'll work our way up there for the duration of the week, but I went out because we had the FOMC meeting minutes later today, so I didn't want to be involved in that. It's dropping at 9 p.m. my time, which is about 27 minutes ago. Let's just refresh, see how it's looking. Yeah. We had ISM manufacturing PMI numbers at 5 o'clock. We had the JOLTS job openings at 5 o'clock as well. And it didn't seem to really mess with the PA as much as I was expecting. For the duration of the week or the year, I'm just going to keep on studying it and seeing how it reacts. And then, yeah. But, yeah, it was a good day. Productive day, in all honesty. Very nice day. So there's not really much on oil. Just this beautiful power of 3 price delivery. Accumulated during Asia. Manipulated down during London. The narrative was starting to be set up. Fair value gap. Rebalanced it or tapped into it. Printed the bearish order block, or the bullish order block, sorry. Had the engulfing candle. Had another fair value gap that we rebalanced. Started to move up. Slight retrace. Got the nice expansion upwards. Opened up another fair value gap. Came back to rebalance it, and then price just shot up. And then just to help me with my projections, or to target, or to at least get an idea of how far we could go, I placed my projection fib from the absolute low there, and then I anchored it just at the opening of that candle, as you can see here. So that swing low, that's where I anchored my fib. And as you can see, to the T. Probably random, right? Probably random. And like I said, I will post that MT5 history shandis so that everyone can see just what we're doing. But yeah, 10 out of 10 trade. Beautiful. Very beautiful. Called it a day. I had to go touch some grass after catching this one. I didn't even enter on NAS. Price was low key, or the market today was low key, not symmetrical. DXY was pushing up. So as you know, as DXY pushes up, we are in a risk-off environment. And theoretically, if DXY is going up, foreign currencies should push down, stock indices should push down, commodities as well should push down. But today, as you can see with oil, it was going up. For me, for the rest of the week, I'm still bullish. I'm still looking for us to get up to about $80 a barrel. Yeah. Let's look at NASDAQ. Not gonna look at the futures contract. We're gonna be looking at the CFD through Black Bull, and we're on the M15 today. Also, nice power of 3, although it was bearish. Accumulation during Asian session. We got the manipulation upwards, taking out the buy side liquidity during London. Price began to spool downwards. We got the slight retrace up into a PD array. This is, remember, if you were paying attention to the previous one where I spoke on it, this is where I first started noticing this. I'll show you on the futures contract, because for the past couple of days it's been pretty accurate. It's either London will leave, say, an order block or a fair value gap, and then in New York session prior to the expansion in the opposite direction or in the continuation of the direction. Today, in this case, we had the continuation in the direction of London. We went up into that order block over there. We overshot it slightly to fill out this or rebalance that, but it went down quite nicely, as you can see over there. And that's just what happened. I wasn't participating in Nasdaq today. I got burnt yesterday, but that's what I deserve for not really following rules. I was pushing a button the day after a bank holiday. But anyway, M15, as you can see, this is today's example. Order block over there. See the bodies respecting it. We didn't even go past that. It was just the wicks. The bodies tell the story, but the wicks do the damage. Let's look at the previous day. Previous day, similar situation. Order block. Traded up into it just before the expansion to the downside. Very nicely. Let's look at the previous day, or Friday last year on the 29th of December. Accumulation in Asia, manipulation during London. We opened up that fair value gap over there. New York session came about around about 9ish, 9:30, 9:45, whatever, 10. The Mohawks or the wicks in that fair value gap over there on the M15. Price was also above the 8:30 open price. Don't take my word for it. Go back, test it yourself. Shot all the way down. How many points is that? About 160 points. Very nice. The 28th of December, same thing. Accumulation, manipulation during London, taking out the buy side from Asian session. See that? Okay, not so much this time, but close enough, you know. And we had the seek and destroy profile on the 27th. Didn't really take anything there. We can see something similar on the 25th. That's what, Christmas, nah? Yeah, accumulation, or, you know, took out the sell side of, or the low of the Asian session during London. London opened up a fair value gap that we traded down into during New York, and then you expanded to the upside. So for me, I really like that pattern over there, or just that thing of using London as a barometer or gauging where we could go. I'm going to be leaning a lot into that moving forward into the year and into the other episodes. So I'll be posting more updates on that. Same thing happened on the 22nd. We didn't really break or take out the the sell side of the Asian session. But London offered us another PD array for us to trade off of during New York session prior to the expansion. So yeah, got the same thing on the 21st. Asian session did its thing. London came up. Ideally, it would have been I would have been looking for the sell, but gotta follow price. But that PDRA situation, gotta pay attention to that. If you're watching this, glad I could share, but you know, same thing happened here, and we have many, many more examples of that. So I'm gonna be paying attention to this. Specifically, like I said, the two markets that I'll be following is the stock indices, so the NAS 100, and as well as WTI. WTI has been quite clean, in all honesty, but I just need to brush up on the fundamentals behind that market. I might add a currency as well, maybe the euro or the pound, but we'll see. We'll see. That's it for today off of my side. Tomorrow we have ADP non-farm employment change, and we have the unemployment claims numbers coming out at about 3:15 and 3:30 South African time. So this should be just about, if I'm not mistaken, it's 8:15 EST and 8:30 EST. And then of course we have NFP on Friday. Ideally, I won't be trading tomorrow, but I'll be paper trading. And Friday, I'm not gonna do anything live. I'm gonna be paper trading as well. If you missed out, be sure to give us a follow on Twitter. The handle is SCHMDII. SCHMDII. And don't miss out on any updates that we'll be posting. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and be safe.